So in our last video, we showed you around Tofo, this little beach town. In this video, it is Saturday evening, pretty late, probably around 8 o'clock. And we will be leaving Tofo first thing in the morning. So we're doing a little bit of loading up of the van, trying to get everything in the van except for stuff we'll need in the morning. The kitties definitely can sense that there's something big going on. Hey, buddy. Most of their stuff's already been taken to the van. Just some food and, of course, their litter box. But we will see y'all in the morning as we hit the road and we're headed to a new country. We still don't have everything worked out, guys, but our visa here is running out. They only give you 30 days. So we're headed out and we may make it to the border tomorrow. It's gonna be a long drive, but we'll see. We'll see you guys in the morning for a legit moving day.
We are back in the van. We got an early start this morning. We packed up and we're loaded and ready to go at 6:30, which means I was up at about 4:30. And we had a little bit of stuff. We also packed last night and we left a day early, you know, beautiful place, but we're ready to get on the road. And kind of is, you almost expect the power went out in the apartment as we were moving out, and it was going out a lot while we were there. And I wear a medical device at night, and so it was kind of getting to be a real pain in the butt. But no more whining and complaining except from G, because he's not happy. We got a big drive today. We're going to Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland. And it's a small country on the border of South Africa and Mozambique. And it's landlocked. It's got some mountains. And we are going there because we need new brakes. Our brakes are toast. And unfortunately, we have about a 14-hour drive. So we got a long way to go on these brakes. And we've already put a lot of miles on them. So we're in desperate need of brake pads. I am nervous about the mountains. We also have a border crossing. The total drive is about 14 or 15 hours, not including the border. So we won't get it all in one day. And well, we're gonna kind of play it as it goes along. The cats have been out of the van for a while, and so we want to give them a chance to get acclimated. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we're on the way and we're headed to a new country. So this morning, first thing, we have to backtrack out of here, meaning we've been on this road before when we came into Tofo Beach. And I can remember, even though we had a long, hard drive to get here, this road is particularly loud. And what I mean by loud is there's a bunch of patched potholes, irregular areas, and just the texture of the asphalt makes it be extremely loud. Now, it's not as bad as a corrugated road, but it's pretty darn close. And we don't have an alternate route to get out of here. And so this is gonna be about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Now, we have a saying in the van, as one goes, the van goes. And so, believe it or not, almost every decision we make in the van is considering the cats. And so we knew coming into this that this was going to be a rough stretch for the cats. Now our goal today is to get close to the border, so I think of the 14 hours, about 8 of it is going to happen today. Today is the hard driving. Now, we're hoping that once we get back up to the N1, the main road, and start heading south, that the road smooths out and is not so loud. But the cats have been kind of spoiled for the last 3 or 4 weeks sitting here in the apartment, and well, they're just not ready for this, and they don't really understand what's going on. And so that part of it just absolutely breaks our heart. But it's one of those things where we just have to kind of rip the band-aid off to get through this piece. Fingers crossed that once we get up to the main road, things smooth out. Now our cats respond differently, and Savannah's likely tucked away, hidden somewhere, and she's frightened. And G is just gonna yell at us. And he might yell nonstop. Now we do what we can do to calm him down. We'll sit with him, we'll rub his ears, we'll put him on our lap, we'll kind of try to cater to him, and we also like to take breaks. But in this particular instance, we're just going to try to get through this mess, and as soon as we get off this road, this N5 right here, we're going to try to find a nice little place where we can pull off and get the door opened up, get them some peace and some quiet, give them some time to relax, maybe grab them some grass, and yeah, just try to reset the day in hopes that they can settle in and enjoy the ride.
We're gonna make it through. We're gonna make it through. We made it through.
Jaja is where I want to try to make it for a break. Jaja. Oh yeah, buddy, that's lots better.
Oh, good job getting that worked out.
Oh.
You missed your screen door, didn't you, Pumpkin?
Yeah, we're gonna make a fort, Bubba. Yeah, your place is a mess.
We've been on the road for about 2 hours. Once we got onto the main road, the quality got a little bit better, but there's still potholes and a lot of people in little villages, so it's still a mentally draining drive. We have stopped here by a bridge where we can see the beautiful ocean for a short little kiddie break. Curt climbed in the back and he is making GMONEY a blanket fort, and Vanna is munching on some fresh grass that Curt just got out and picked for him. So we'll stay here about 15 minutes, let them have a little rest, and then it'll be back on the road.
I don't know if I told you, but this journey has taken us south to the capital of Mozambique, which is Maputo. I believe that's the capital. I could be wrong. In any event, in Maputo, we turn west over to Eswatini, or formerly Swaziland. But we'll kind of skirt around Maputo. But as we move south, there are more and more police stops. And the police have been more kind of aggressive. So most of the police stops in Mozambique, we kind of get waved on through. There was a radar trap and we had the cruise control set, so I know we weren't speeding. We were going down a bit of a hill, so the speed limit was 60 kilometers, so maybe 62, 63 possibly, I don't know. But he said we were going 89, absolutely not possible. Anyway, he wanted me to get out and blah, 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 and look at, and I said, no, I don't understand. Anyway, long story short, clearly they didn't have a picture of me going 89, because eventually I waited him out after, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, and he said go on. He was a little frustrated, but I'm pretty sure they were going to try to, you know, jack me up or whatever, some money. Anyway, we've come through another checkpoint, military, also police, big guns, stuff like that. They asked us typical stuff, where we've been, where we're going. Not really a big deal, more of a pain than anything, but I get it, security, no problem. But we're about an hour from another little break point, so we can give GMONEY and the kitties a break. They're slowly starting to adapt back to van life after their little sabbatical. But today is Sunday, and as we're traveling through here, we're noticing a lot of people on the side of the roads going to or coming from church. And so that's kind of most of the activity we see. Also in some of these small towns, you can see there's sort of like vans, which are like collectivos or the public transportation system. And when the vans stop, all of a sudden all the vendors just swarm the van, like with cashews, mangoes, coconuts, whatever they have. And you can hear my buddy wants to get in the conversation too. But anyway, he's about to get a break. We're about to take another little break. And yeah, so we'll check in with you in a little bit.
There's a car.
Your destination is on the left.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you a little update. If you if you guys notice, all these bags tied to these trees, it's cashews. So we are in cashew country. And I gotta tell you, we've been driving through cashew country for a couple hours, and the salesmen here in Mozambique, I will tell you, these guys will jump out in the middle of the road, wave their hands, these guys are dancing, they're doing everything they can to sell a bag of cashews. Now, we already told you that when the vans pull over, the transportation vans pull over, they get bum rushed with people trying to sell stuff. But as we've come through the countryside and gotten a little further south, we're definitely starting to see more pineapples. Mangoes are still prevalent. A lot of bananas. Of course, I just told you about the cashews, as well as cassava root. Those are kind of the main staples. We have come across a few areas where there's been some sort of low-lying land that's very fertile, and we have seen a little like tractor farming there. So maybe for corn, possibly even rice, beef or cattle for sure, and also some burning going on. Now, it's not throughout like we did see in northern Mozambique, but there still continues to be burning, and oh yeah, there's still lots of coconuts. But it's a hot one today. It's about 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, when we get to Eswatini, we'll be going up in elevation, and it's going to get quite a bit cooler. So that's kind of why we're heading that direction. Well, we need to get new brakes. That's why we're headed there. But we have been babying the brakes along here well. Snow, how are the brakes holding up?
They seem to be fine, but we're really trying not to use them because we've already used them so much since the warning light came on, and we've still got quite a ways to go. But we also stopped off for lunch. We found a KFC.
Yeah, and call us whatever you want, but some of these little street side restaurants are just a little questionable for us, and so well, we know we're gonna get a KFC, and so we stopped off there and had some chicken. But anyway, we're back on the road, and yeah, we're closing in on Maputo. It's always interesting as you come through the different regions. Well, you can see what they're growing in the fields, and then sometimes you can see from the little booths or whatever. And well, we just came through an area, and they had like these big piece of wood out there, and on top of the wood they had all these jugs lined up of like a, I don't know, cloudy liquid. And Snow and I are like, what is that? Is that some kind of coconut oil or coconut? Because we've seen all the coconuts, but we're not really right now in coconut area. And all of a sudden we realize we are in sugarcane area. So it was probably either some kind of cane juice, or maybe even a liquor or local liquor or booze made from cane. We've seen that a lot of places, but yeah, all of a sudden we entered into sugarcane country. And another thing that's interesting as we're driving along here, the right of way, so the area just off of the road and before the fields, that area right there, they are growing a lot of corn and cassava. So it's like kind of like some kind of informal farming maybe, but all along there. And here's yet another police stop, and there have been a lot of them. So let me put the camera away. Alright guys, we got another police stop here. Let's see, I think they're going to let us through, it looks like. Stopping that car. I think you're okay. Well, so stopping anyway.
We're almost to camp, buddy. We're trying so hard to get you out of this van.
Traffic is often characterized as chronic and debilitating. Cause: the city is situated on a peninsula, meaning all traffic heading in and out must funnel through a few key corridors. This geographical constraint severely limits road expansion. Impact: a 2020
On a Sunday afternoon in Maputo, Mozambique, is traffic going to be heavy, or will it be a better day to be driving through?
That is a great question, and you've chosen a good time. A Sunday afternoon is generally one of the best times to be driving through Maputo to avoid the severe, debilitating congestion of the weekday rush hours. Here is a breakdown of what you can expect. Sunday afternoon, much lighter traffic. The traffic in Maputo is primarily driven by 1. The weekday commute, the massive flow of workers, vehicles, and chapas, minibuses, between the neighboring sprawling city of Matola and Maputo's central business district.
Welcome to Maputo. I don't know if it's the capital city, I think it is, but it's for sure the largest city here in Mozambique. In the city itself, there are supposed to be about 1.5 million people, but if you count the metro area, recent counts project about 3 million people in a very small area. And we're back into the roadside markets and the taxis and the buses, the small little mini microbuses, just stopping wherever they want to unload people and causing really big traffic issues. And
the big problem is, guys, we don't have brakes. And so it makes, and I've driven in these cities all over in South Africa, but never without brakes. Without a turbo, but man, this is gonna be a challenge.
the only saving grace may be that it is a Sunday afternoon. So maybe traffic won't be as bad as it is known that it can be in these African cities. Hold on tight, here we go. I'll tell you if you can get around this guy. You can't for a while.
Alright, can you back a little bit? I gotta get ready to
No, I think you're... Whoa, what? Don't forget our brakes might be wishy-washy. This is terrible. It's these taxis. Look at where they stop.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you're close over here. You're good, but you're gonna have to let him go here. You gotta stop, Curt. You gotta stop. Right through the red light, Curt. I mean, you just went right through the red light.
They're still coming down. Right around, yeah.
the thickest parts of the city. Went through a little landscape, farmy looking area, and now we've come into what me and Curt are calling the suburbs. And the name of this place is GMONEY, B-O-A-N-E. It's a Sunday evening. It looks like a lot of people are coming out for a little evening stroll through the market. The roads have deteriorated a little bit since we left the city. They're still not horrible. We have 13 minutes to go till the place where we really hope that we get to wild camp. It's just a little old construction road off the side of the main road. And it is about an hour, is that what we figured out, Curt? An hour from the border of Eswatini. So we'll wake up in the morning after a good night's sleep and head straight for the border. So the day has kind of gone as planned. Not much we can complain about, other than the kitties are really miserable, and it's a long day, but it went fairly good.
It went really well. It was a long, hard day, and you know, one thing I'll say is when you're done, you're done.
Yeah, we're
and
done.
Snow and I talked about it several times, and ever since we looked at each other and said we're done, we've been done. And even moving back into the van this time,
There was no
like,
excitement.
It was like never before.
Yeah.
And the cats are feeling it, and we're feeling it. And guys, we're just trying to slug through this and get to the shop so we can get some new brakes, get up in some elevation to take away some of this heat. And I can even see the mountain range up in front of us. So we're headed to the high veld.
Look at this little boy getting down over there.
Get down on it.
Almost to camp, guys.
Here's the camp spot for the night. We're a little wobbly. We're a little leaning to the passenger side, but it'll work for the night. Those mountains you kind of see in the background there towards the sun, that is Eswatini. So as soon as we cross the border, I think we have to go a little bit more south. Anyway, we got about an hour drive in the morning to get there. But this is a really nice spot, a wild spot. And we found it on iOverlander. Some big, beautiful trees. It's pretty green here. And even getting up about 500 maybe feet, it's definitely a lot cooler up here. So sun's going down. We're gonna have a sandwich and take the kitties for a little walk, give them a little break. There's some birds chirping, and we're gonna call it a night, guys. Good morning. Well, our night last night was a lot better than our day was. The drive, once we got there, we took the cats for a walk and they enjoyed getting outside and getting on solid ground. And then, well, we got back in the van and it was nice and cool. We slept really well. It felt so good to be back in our bed. To be honest with you, it's so much more comfortable than the Airbnb bed. We had kind of forgotten about that. So we had a good night's sleep. We got up early and we are now on our way to the border. I think I said yesterday we were an hour away. It turns out we're only about 30 minutes away. But we do have a dilemma. We have the Mozambique money and we have quite a bit of it. And so we're gonna have to try to figure out how to do that. Rumor is it's difficult to exchange Mozambique money. So yeah, we kind of got to figure that out. Maybe we'll fill the tank with gas, or I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, we're headed to the border. It's pretty here, it's green, it's lush. It's not quite as, I don't know, brown and dry as what we kind of been coming through. And so yeah, our spirits are up. We just got to keep monitoring our brake situation because we're headed into the mountains. And yeah, it's gonna be tricky, guys.
Well, these are the purple trees. I bet this road is gorgeous when it's blooming.
I don't think there's a purple.
No, there's purple flowers still on a few of them. I don't know. There's some sort of flowered tree. If you like this video, Be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!